For now, though, we are loading into the quarterfinals between ApHeroes and Tyrael+4. We are not picking Tyrael.
Indeed.
Boo
It's a bit
hiss.
of disappointment.
Yep, I hate it when teams lie. I'm not a fan. They have lost my
I'm
respect. If you're gonna name yourself something, you commit. It's like
I'm just sending a tweet out saying that we're having a battle of the Spaniards.
Is there a name for the Spanish Civil War? Is that known? Are you aware of that? Yeah, I only know. There is the Spanish Civil War. I don't know if it's called something.
I'm making a bet with myself in my head now about what could occur in this game. And I'll tell you if it goes on. But anyway,
okay.
Why don't you introduce the teams?
Alright, spawning on the left-hand side in the blue trunks, it is going to be ApHeroes. Yes, ApHeroes. Yes. I was just trying to remember, judging by the draft. And starting in the top lane, we have Shad playing the Lost Vikings. In the mid lane, it is I Am Morden on the Muradin, who's spinning very fast. Hein is on the Valor. Red X is on the Zagara. And with the Master Skin, it is Thunder on the Uther.
3, 2, 1.
And on the right-hand side, we have Tyrael+4. It is Makula on the Kel'Thas. We have Max Prime on the Anub'arak. Down in the bot lane, we have Zay on the Diablo. Murkroyd on the Malfurion.
Metroid, like Metroid.
And, Murkroyd, yeah. And Kepuntatho on the Jaina.
Who we shall be calling Ke. Because we are bad at foreign. And Anub'arak is going a little far forward, but not going to get called out for the moment. Just hanging around. In the meantime, though, ApHeroes is just going to completely wipe out that mid lane and send a couple people down to bot. They've already missed out. They did miss out on a little bit of XP, though, I'm pretty sure.
Also, I thought, like when I saw the name I Am Morden, former League of Legends player for Giants Gaming before their LCS times, also played for teams such as Wizards, Gamers 2, and Existence as well.
Ah, very cool. Alright, Red X, just poking in a bit. And Diablo just staying up front, zoning as much as possible. He already has a Malfurion heal on him. Not going too aggressive, and Uther just hanging around this area, looking for his time to run in while mounted and get his stun off. Charging in now, going to just grab at that health globe, which makes a lot of sense. He is running the Conjurer's Pursuit.
Yep, he is. Zay, again, taking a lot of damage here in this bot lane. Those Hydralisks, if they stack up, do quite a bit of damage, and then once you hit that level 16 where you get 2 of them and the increased talent, the Groove Spines at 13, becomes quite a lot of single target damage. But early game, she has a lot of poke and push power as it is. As the blue side, they have control of both shrines right now as Morden.
Sneaky Eric.
He's going to try and grab this, but Eric's now come down. You don't think he's going to be the one? Anoop has to borrow charge in here, but...
Nope, didn't. He was stunned and then dropped some auto attacks. Didn't choose to borrow charge or use his knockup. He'd already used his first knockup, so it was probably on cooldown. Shad just going to start wailing away on these middle lane of buildings. Well, in the meantime, bot lane is still pushing very heavily in favour of ApHeroes.
Yeah, it is, and now they have this Dragon Knight on their side as well. It means there's a lot of pressure on the map as Max Prime already taken a lot of damage, forced to use that shield.
Yeah, and we have Shinji in the chat showing up to support his country.
Spanish admin.
Yep, showing up to support his country.
I apologise now for any Spanish I pronounce incorrectly.
I agree. I agree with this apology and reiterate it to myself. And at least he can keep, because they're both Spanish, he can keep up his impartialness. Down goes Kel'Thas in the top lane to the Vikings. Baylog, though, has a living bomb on him, but able to tank it.
Yeah, as again, back in the spot lane, one tower has fallen, the other is out of ammo. Meaning that it should fall relatively soon as well. Those roaches tanking up, keeping the lane pushed as well. You have the reconstitution from Zagara, which means she is not going anywhere, and it actually allows Thunder to roam a bit as well. He's going to poke his head in towards those mercenary camps and move towards Max Prime in the mid lane, it seems. Red X just going to spread some more creep.
Yeah, but Max Prime, we haven't seen a Anub'arak yet, so we should probably talk about the build he is going down. Since his change to his Beetle AI, his Beetles are great now, so he is going for full Beetle build. and as such you can see has many beetles on the map. Already has Assault Scarab for the 25% extra damage on the beetles, and the automatic beetle spawn, which is an interesting talent in the fact that one of the most important things you can actually learn when you're using that talent is to turn it off.
Yeah.
Because it immediately gives you away if you're trying to camp. So a very important thing you can learn is when to turn it off. Jada did go down in the top lane to a combination of Iron, Mordant, and the Shads.
As Morden now coming back down towards this mid lane. They've got a stun chain, but a support and a warrior trying to kill a Diablo is probably not going to happen anytime soon. As Max Prime trying to clear out as much creep as he can from range. This tower will fall very shortly down here. And this will give a bit more map control over to the side of ApHeroes. They already have a talent advantage. We see the cleanse coming in, rapid incubation, the jump with the increased cooldown. Daring attacks from Valor, which is what we like to see, and of course the piercing bolt going for that QQQ build on the Uther as their Merc camps get taken here as well.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense to go for the QQ build as opposed to the W build, due to the fact there's not too much auto attack potential on the side. Max Prime does get stunned by Uther, but just throws back his own knock-up and deals with time, so he's not going to take too much damage. And I do like the fact they have sent Max Prime down here due to the fact that his Locust can really help freeze a lane, and that did save that tower for a lot longer than it would have lived otherwise, and should keep their fort pretty safe here. It does, though, mean they don't have the sheer tankiness of Diablo to try and dive onto this shrine. Try and take it. Morden going to be zoning Zaya here. Shad going in. There's the stun chain coming out, so Shad has another free Dragon Knight.
Yep, and this is going to be the mid fort going down. He has no real need to go bot because those towers are already down. The only other lane he could go towards would be top.
I was about to say Balog is dead, but he pulled off a clutch last-minute jump to dodge the last auto attack from Jaina and get himself out alive. Olaf is in a bit of trouble. He's actually just standing in the blizzard. He tanks it, but Jaina gets taken down by Morden, and Shad comes in with Olaf for the kill anyway, and is bringing back Balog. They're just going to use the health globes to get some health back, and just sending Balog back to the fountain, which, if you tap the fountain with one Viking, heals all the Vikings, which is cool.
Yeah, it's very, very nice that. Unless, of course, it would put it on maybe a 30-second cooldown would be stupid. Ignore me. Thinking aloud, never a good idea. This bottom fountain, however, is going to go down as they now move on towards the fort. Bailing's doing their job. We do have the beds of barbs, creates a bed of spikes along Impale's path that slows enemies. They persist, so it's again that AoE control. The long range as well, Red X, they're getting hit by it as they actually come in. Morden here. Max Prime has to burrow away from that one. Kel'Thas.
Oh,
nice. 3-man stun there, in fact.
Didn't have much follow-up for it, though. Did not use his Flame Strike. Did get a Flame Bomb off onto Valor, but he does not have Chain Bombs, so... sorry, a Living Bomb off. He does not have Chain Bombs yet, so wasn't really able to get too much out of it. And he goes in there for the harassment Living Bomb, but instead gets immediately re-engaged on, and the Strafe is able to pick him off. Mecroid going to be backing out here. He knows he can't defend, so just letting that fort go down. Dragon Knight expired a little while ago, so top lane has sort of just frozen. Vikings are still just soaking that up nice and calmly, and Morden heads back to the mid lane to soak there. Having a look at some of the heroics in the game at the moment, we see Web Blast coming in from the Anub'arak, Water Elemental on the side of the Jaina, Tranquility, Apocalypse, and the Phoenix, not risking that Pyroblast against the Uther. Uther also going a bit safe though, just taking that Divine Shield so Valor can get her strafe off pretty safely, and to protect the Vikings to maybe make it so their boat does not get popped early. Devouring more the longboat raid from the Vikings, as we spoke about earlier, strafe, as we spoke about earlier, from Valor, and the Avatar on the Muradin.
Yeah, also there is an Anub'arak bug around at the moment with Web Blast that can take heroes off the map completely. Yeah,
with Diablo, but I believe you need Diablo on your same team.
Yeah.
So I don't think...
On your same team?
On the same team, yeah, because he overpowers a target as they're Web Blasted, isn't it?
Yeah, they're on the same team.
Oh, they are on the same team, yeah, so it is possible. Red X backing out here. Web Blast was used on someone. Invulnerability is on to the Zagara thanks to that Divine Shield. She dodges out of the way of the Apocalypse. Strafe now being used from Valor, just microing around, dodges the knock-up from Anubrak, but takes a Shadow Charge from the Diablo. Vikings got their full longbow off and are now trying to body block Zay to prevent him from getting back to base. And it's Eric just using his speed to body block. There's the Shadow Charge into a wall, but it's not enough. And Diablo does go down. He has enough souls, so he will revive. But ApHeroes just taking so much control here.
Yeah, they're now 3 levels ahead. They have that talent advantage. And this lead is only gonna get bigger because they're gonna grab themselves a Dragonite here. Morden in the bot lane. Thunder in the top lane. Shad, there he is, stuck in the middle.
With a Dragon Knight, as he will be moving in once again on Eric. And I do like the option of using Eric, due to the fact that Olaf has a lot more sustain than the other Vikings.
Yeah.
Eric is nice, but Balog can clear waves a lot quicker than the other Vikings. So Olaf has the sustain, Balog has the wave clear, Eric just has movement speed and a longer range attack, but he's in a Dragon Knight. It's not a huge deal. He is, however, getting CC'd to hell and taking a lot of damage on this Dragon Knight already half health, and he barely got a single auto attack off on a building. Phoenix has been used on Zagara, but she is able to tank it thanks to her rapid incubation talent. And the Dragon Knight finally wailing on this fort will be able to take it down.
Yep, as they now move on towards the keep towers themselves here. Fire Breath being used, but he actually gets flipped over. I didn't think you could do that.
Yeah, well, apparently you can. Olaf, able to tackle his way through the wall accidentally as well, uses jump to try and escape, but down goes Eric as he tries to get out of there. There's the longboat raid. Web Blast has been used on, I think that is Valor in there. And we're seeing Zagara flee for her life. Ufa has been rooted. The Vikings, we did see Balog go down. Olaf able to escape. But that actually went okay for AP, only losing 2 Vikings. It might become more as Iron Morden taking a lot of damage. There comes the tackle, cleanse instantly used, and Diablo is now a bit out of position. Morden dealing huge damage. In comes the strafe from Valor. Divine Shield has been used on Morden as he continues to chase, and Valor not going to chase the Jada as that would be suicide. There's a stun onto Malfurion in this bottom lane, and he's very outnumbered. With the 3 melee people, 2 hammers, 1 shield, are just going to whack him, and down he goes.
That was a very nice turn there, using the advantages of their cooldowns coming back off cooldown, and Tyrael+4 stepping a little bit too far there. With Diablo, I knew you could shadow charge the Dragon Knight, but I didn't know you could flip him.
Dragon Knight is susceptible to all CC. He's susceptible to Chen's ult as well.
Yeah, I know he's susceptible to Chen's ult, I just didn't think Diablo could flip.
Well, apparently he can. Diablo is very strong.
This is where you need an option where you, like, I want to revert back to the last patch to see if this happened.
Yeah, that would be cool. I also wish the Garden Terror was actually susceptible to all CC. Actually, it
might be the Garden Terror that I'm on about. No, I don't think you can flip the Terror.
Yeah, I think it should. I think all of that stuff should be susceptible to CC. It's much more fun. And it gives you more counterplay against the Garden Terror as opposed to it just literally standing there and throwing down W's every couple seconds.
And making the game last for 40 minutes. But
exactly.
16-13 makes that 17-13 4-level lead. These 16 talents, we have 1 Blood for Blood, Benediction. Of course, the Brood expansion.
Oh,
Do have the Museless talent coming in, though. Zagara could be caught out here, but the rest of the team is pretty far away from Max Prime. Hayen is coming in from the top, gets a multi-shot off, does quite a bit of damage. But the Vikings, this is what I've wanted to see for a long time. 1 going top, 1 going bot, and the other picking up the Dragon Knight. I think that's the first time I've seen that.
Yeah, it is fun. I've done it a couple times. I've seen it a couple times. It is very cool. If you're pushing up, gives you the chance to do it. It's even better if you're losing and you're able to sneak it. That is super fun. And there we go. Shad just going to be pushing that in. While the rest of AP are just going to push this bot lane with the wonderful Zagara pushing power they do get. And they even have Balog with them, the best in terms of wave clear. So he's doing a bit of a job. Takes a flame strike to the face though. There's the overpower. And we're going to lose Balog. Web Blast has been once again used on, I think that's, I don't know who that is in there. Actually, it's Ufa, who is able to dash out of there. Iron Morden takes a bit of damage. Phoenix just doing a little bit of damage, but once again we can see it's not actually that good in terms of damage. Max Prime diving very hard to get some nice healing. Hyde able to vault away, almost dead. There's the root on 2. The Blizzard hits 1, hits 2, and Uva finally goes down. Red X charging in though, going very aggressive with the help of Eric. In comes Hyde as well. There's the multi-shot, and Jada does go down. Eric diving in there and applies Chain Bomb onto Red X there. I'm pretty sure that wasn't intentional, and that bomb actually killed off the creep as well. And once again, we're back to where we started with Max Prime chasing onto Red X, and it ends in pretty much the same way with the counterplay. Hind may go down here to the living bomb. No, he's able to survive, and Anubarak does go down to the Vikings.
And all while that was happening, Olaf was pounding on the mid keep and was able to take it.
Yeah, so AP just continuing to get pure control here, doing an incredible job in this game. And now they're just waiting for people to respawn. Uther, the only one to physically die other than Balog, who's already back and in the fight, and is going to be clearing off walls, just deny some vision to the enemy team. And Eric has head to the top lane. He's just going to be clearing this wave again and getting his team even more XP.
Yeah, and I actually feel like the Vikings are an okay pick on this map because you're not going to be longboating that often. Because as we've seen, every Dragon Knight that's been taken, it's had a Viking in it, so your longboat would be pretty weak anyway. Whereas on a map like, say, Cursed, Garden, any other map, maybe not so much Garden, but Cursed Mines, I feel like Vikings would not be picked by AP here.
I disagree. I'd say Vikings still hold the same role. Balog been caught out of position here, taking a lot of damage. And dashing out, Living Bomb does spread to Muradin, but not enough. But yeah, Vikings are still viable and stuff like Garden, etc. I agree, it makes a bit more sense on this map.
Yeah.
But I still think it's definitely viable. Like, the whole point is you longboat after the Terror ends, kind of thing, so that you can keep whoever was in it alive. And then you just get the pure counter engage, because they will have thrown a lot of abilities to take down that Terror.
Yeah, as we now have this
Split
engage
push.
now coming, well, not engage, just a little bit of a dance coming out in this bot lane.
Yeah, and while this dance happens in the bot lane, we have the split pushing. Eric's in the mid lane. Eric's in the top lane. Balog's in the mid lane, but now they are grouped up. Web Blast has been used on the Uther. Muradin chasing on to Anubarak there. A lot of damage. I really wish that didn't use everything. Ice Block has been used by Malfurion, keeping himself alive and keeping that tranquility on his team. The Viking longboat is actually being used, as we said here, and it does have the Ragnarok and roll. So much damage being dealt. But there's a living bomb on Olaf that could spread to all the Vikings. No, uses jump last second. Able to deal with that aggressive bolt coming out of height here, chasing on to Max Prime, and dodges the knock-up as well with that Volt. But in comes Zai very aggressively there. But AP, they did lose their Zagara. They are still being quite aggressive here, but not as aggressive as they were at the start of this.
It's really hard for Tyrael+4 here to decide who to Web Blast. They've tried it on Valor, still lost team fights by getting rid of that damage threat, they've lost the fight. They've now also tried it on the Uther, trying to get rid of that Divine Shield. As soon as he comes out, he Divine Shields his teammate, and the fight still goes in AP's favour. And right now, 20-17, 3-level lead. They're going to try and interrupt the Dragon Knight here. Luckily, Max Prime dodges out the hammer coming in from Morden, but he's burrowing deep here. Diablo and Malfurion are close. They do get a Web Blast off, leaving Valor exposed. Is going to bolt away from that one, however, and now Morden is back out. Zay getting stunned up. They do return the stun, which interrupted the strafe there. Phoenix also being used. Macroid is getting zoned out by two of the Vikings. Max Prime should go down here. In fact, he's going to get out of there. Divine Shield being used last second on Morden to make sure he survives as Red X now back in this fight. Moore is going to be up in a few seconds, so they could, again, try and turn this one.
Yep, we're seeing a couple members of AP be back to base. We're seeing Anubarak head to the top lane to grab that shrine, so there will be no Dragon Knight for AP for the moment. And Red X taking a lot of damage there. Jaina going to be running away while that Mutilist does some counter damage. Fund was thinking about it. He was thinking about going in there to just stun her up so she took more Mutilist damage. But instead going to head to top lane and grab the shrine. Muradin is in the bot lane grabbing the shrine. And we have both Zagara and Valor prepared there. Kael'thas did just die in a 1 versus 2 in the Vikings in the bot lane.
And Valor and Zagara just absolutely obliterated Jaina there. Both of them bolted on and then just used all their spells, and Jaina just got 100 to 0. As Dragon Knight, 17 minutes in, 5 versus 3. This could just be a situation where it's right click to win. Avatar form being used. Going to be hammering away on that core. Red X coming in here as well. Valor multi-shotting for good measure. As Morden getting pretty low here. Divine Shield being used on him as well to keep him alive in that front line. This looks like it should be game here. They're actually going to Web Blast the Dragon Knight here. Again, didn't know that was a thing, but they are going to try and return the damage back onto Max Prime. Morden very low. Heals are coming in quite slowly here. But the Dragon Knight back out here. Core on less than 50% now. Malfurion keeping his team alive with that Tranquility and the Ice Block. Thunder on the Core, 10%. That is going to be it.
Yeah, not much to do there. Dragon Knight was just left alone too much. It ended on half health. There was a nice idea to Web Blast the Dragon Knight and try and take down some members of AP so they could turn around and then deal with the Dragon Knight, but did not work out in their favour at all. They weren't able to take him down. They only took down Uther at the end there, and he had Redemption. It just hadn't popped yet by the time that fight finished.
Yeah.
But yeah, super well played by AP. Very nice use of the heroes there. Didn't really see many Moors come out of Zagara. That's the thing that I missed.
Yeah, we saw like 2 or 3, but not many great Moors. Like it was essentially just an effective Web Blast, trying to isolate one, if they were lucky, 2 members. But apart from that, they weren't too great.
Yeah. Although super well played by AP, they will move on to the semi-finals.